That's okay with you.
Okay, yeah.
Whatever. Whenever you're ready, Boo.
We're live. I'm about to start. Just talk about shit. I'm posting everything to everywhere right now.
Okay, yeah, but I am actually. Yeah, I don't know.
Whenever you're ready, Boo.
Okay, never mind.
We're live.
I finished Hitman. That's what I was going to say.
Which Hitman?
The newest one. The one everyone hates.
Well, yeah, because, like, all the other Hitmans, you're like, oh, you can do anything to kill the guy.
No, you can in this one. What people didn't like is that it was an episodic format. So, like, there were 6 chapters. And that's just season 1. There's a potential for a season 2.
Ugh. I hate, like, if it's...
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I don't know. How much was each episode?
Well, I paid $60 for everything.
Okay.
And of course there's a lot of non-story content. Like there's you can have custom objectives and whatnot.
Oh yeah, I remember that from the one before that. What was it?
I'm getting some more playtime out of it as well. The story itself only took me about 9 hours to complete, which is kind of a little disappointing. IMO.
Are we gonna do any kind of introduction for this, or just jump into the replays?
Jump into the replays. I mean,
we're talking about Hitman. Oops.
yeah, we're ready to.
Let's do it.
Peeled up, ready to go. Oh, Vonnie Research Station.
All you need with that portrait is a barcode name.
Right? Yeah, I kind of haven't completed the image here.
I know, right?
You're like half try hard, and you're also missing the wings at the bottom of the border. But I mean,
well, right. I mean, if I'm gonna put my
right
name there, I might as well be using the adept picture, right? Like it's just a cognitive dissonance.
Dude, I don't understand why people like get barcodes and like don't like they're not in masters, right? Like I have barcodes in my division. I'm like, what do you need to protect yourself from?
Anonymity is important. All right, ladies and gentlemen, in the upper central base on Vonnie Research Station, the Orange Protoss playing on behalf of Team All Inspiration, HyperKinetic.
Wow, you just didn't say it's me?
I
Anyway,
didn't say it was me.
on the bottom kind of central area, also on Vonnie Research Station, we have the blue Zerg. I'm gonna say that's blue. Fustup, playing for Team UR.
It would be kind of awkward if he was not on Vonnie Research Station.
It would be incredibly awkward, yeah.
All right, so Vonnie Research Station, the only thing is it's a great mech map, but neither player can go mech. So.
I beg to disagree. Zerg can go mech. The Villo does it all the time.
Oh, well, you know. Okay, so it looks like we're going to have... Is this the Nexus first? What?
Oh,
Boo!
Oh, wow. Production ruined.
Wow.
Production ruined.
So it looks like this is going to be a Nexus first from HyperKinetic here. And we have a hatch first, which is pretty standard for Zerg.
And honestly, like, on this map, I feel like Nexus first is pretty safe, just with that backdoor expand.
In PvZ, it's incredibly safe. I mean, even in the new map pool, generally in higher leagues, you're pretty safe to go Nexus first even on like Belcher Vestige, where the matchup is kind of not that explosive, and having like 2 pylon walls in most of the modern maps is really reasonable.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we do. Is this a 3-hatch? This is a 3-hatch.
It is a 3-hatch, yes.
Wow, what is this? What is this? Isn't 3-hatch before pool like a HOTS build? I never played during HOTS. So.
This guy,
wow.
He's in 2014 right now.
I would be interested to know from our Zerg player how common it is on these maps with the on the maps with the back bases to take the forward base first.
Very common. Very common.
An easier third, you can be more aggressive, creep spread
Possibly,
further.
possibly
yeah.
with the exception of ZVZ, just because personally, like, against another Zerg, I'm gonna take a more sheltered expand. If I do, I am not a fan of expanding versus other Zergs at all.
Right.
So, but it was very common, especially on this map, just because it gets your creep out so much further. Because otherwise, you're starting your creep spread from your natural or from
Right,
your
that makes
main,
a lot of sense.
sorry.
So we do have both hatches are going to go up, and he's probably going to drone hard. So what I hope to expect out of the Protoss is the "fuck you, I have a depths" build, which is you build 8 gateways and just be like, "Fuck you, I have a depths."
So yeah, to sort of break the fourth wall here, my expectation was certainly that he would drone hard. Unfortunately, in just a second, we're going to see in the natural drop down this Roach Warren, and this does not get stouted.
Ooh. Yeah, that's pretty important. That's actually a really fast Roach Warren. He doesn't even have speed yet. Wow. Like this guy's taking
speed for roaches.
That is super greedy.
Well, that's not to say that he doesn't have the gas for both, right? Like
yeah, I mean,
just like it's late.
This is gold, so but yeah.
Yeah, it's just late speed. It's not that.
Like it's just late. Like, but that's kind of uncommon that you see Roach Warren be speed even in lower lakes. Oh man. Yeah, what's the supply difference is actually in favor of you right now.
Well, right,
Fustup has
been droning
nothing,
and immediately just goes into 12 army units.
Ouch. Zerg, man, OP. They need to nerf it.
It's fine.
It's not a matter of it being OP. It's a matter of, you know, the Protoss player just not seeing the
No, it's OP. You're doing it wrong.
It's OP.
Reasonable here.
You're not a very good Protoss.
You're not a very good StarCraft player if you don't.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the two adepts are going to shade out. Unfortunately, they will take a different path from the Roaches and Lings, so there's not going to be any prevision of that coming.
And the mothership core looks like it's going to be out of position, to be honest. Like it's kind of in the awkward kind of middle here. It's just kind of sitting there. Like it's not even near a pylon. Like.
Yeah, there are two things that go into this. Chiefly, it's that we were really expecting Ling drops out of this guy. And so I'm looking for, or I was until my mothership first stopped patrolling, looking for dropper lords. And also this attack is just completely unexpected. My expectation is at this point.
So how many, oh, this is going to hurt.
Yeah.
And
I mean, the game is just over at this point.
Yeah, this is rough. And you didn't hold position the dude. So,
it's true.
Ouch. Yes, this is gonna hurt.
This is where you warp in DTs and kill everything. Right now. Right now.
I mean, the first defensive DT does come in, but it's a little bit too late.
Yeah,
this is already pulling off the main, and
okay. So you're trying to save your probes. You're actually not that far behind right now. He's just pumping out units. Like in probe count, you're actually only 4 behind, which is surprising. It just
you know why? I was gonna say this earlier. Do you know why those two adepts did not see those roaches on the other side of the map? Because of that shade vision nerf. Zerg Imba.
Well, that's an opinion. I also appreciate the little congregation of overlords here on the far right side of the map.
I know, right?
Just chilling out.
If you had opened Phoenix, ooh, that would have been.
I mean, they would have taken an hour to kill all those overlords, but it would have mildly inconvenienced the Zerg player.
In any case, this brigade of Lings is just going to come from out.
And you don't even have a wall. There's nothing in the wall.
This is fine. This is fine.
Lings are just like lol. Oh man, this is rough though.
I like how he hold positions the Lings so they don't chase the stalkers.
Yeah, now this game is over. Like,
now it's just done. There are no workers.
Yeah. I was like, maybe he can come back with some fancy like harass and stuff like that, but now this game is just.
Micro.
And you're killing your own base.
Bring it to end, the DT kills the own base, yeah.
Ouch.
It's a rough time.
This is not good. Meanwhile, Zerg is floating 1,000 minerals.
That's fine. He doesn't. It doesn't matter what he's doing at this point.
Yeah.
He could have taken his hands off the keyboard and walked off and got a snack.
Oh well, that was pretty rough. Not gonna lie.
Okay.
All right, moving on to games. I feel comfortable commentating. Very nice.
Baby. Did we end up getting Tech 4's replay?
Okay, that's good. Alright, so who is next? I think it's XTotalhavok, right?
Who knows? I think Boo knows though.
Is it?
Total Havoc.
It is XTotalhavok. Okay.
It's gonna be a PVT on Whirlwind.
So Tiny Snowman. I've played this guy before. He was pretty good at TVT, but I don't know about his Terran versus Protoss. So we'll see.
Well,
Truth be
Terran's
told-
Nimba, so clearly that's how it went, right?
I don't
It
know.
depends directly on the number of Liberators that Tiny Snowman chooses to build.
Man,
I mean, tanks are pretty OP against. Tanks are pretty strong right now as well. Like that 70 damage against Stalkers is nothing to laugh at.
Well, for sure, the problem unit in this matchup is definitely the Liberator, though, because just the Liberator is a little bit more mobile, so the region in which you can't engage is just it's much less restrictive than the tank, especially after the removal of the tank evac, right?
Well, the 70 they buff the damage, and so tank evac Liberator Protosses are dying too, and then I'm abusing the hell out of.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Like that like we don't mind dropping to a tank lib push, man. It hurts, man. Especially if you know how to position the lib over the tank so that they can't really do anything. Oh, it's like a sucker punch.
All right, so while Nano is sitting in the corner masturbating over his overpowered Terran units, we're loading into the second game of this set.
On Whirlwind, you.
Ooh.
You.
All right,
Fortunately, no Zerg in this matchup.
which is good.
God, even just TVT on Whirlwind wasn't fun. TVZ on Whirlwind wasn't fun. TVP on fun.
Okay,
All right,
so
well, in the upper right-hand corner of Whirlwind, the ladder edition, as the orange-yellow Terran, it is from Team Unrivaled, Tiny Snowman.
and in the bottom right-hand corner, also on Whirlwind, we have playing for Team All Inspiration, XTotalhavok. So I'm not entirely sure on the positioning of these maps because like how each one kind of plays out because I always ban 4-player maps.
I feel like in TVP, it probably doesn't make the biggest difference. Obviously, cross spawns are going to give you the longest rush distance, but anything else is going to be.
Yeah, I think it's fair amount. We do have a probe going out for XTotalhavok.
It isn't huge, but it certainly depends on the build chosen by Protoss. In the case of like the kind of more Phoenix-oriented styles, cross positions is a little bit more favorable because of the distance the medevacs have to travel, but it's still not a big deal.
Okay.
Yeah.
So XTotalhavok's gonna find out unless
Very thoroughly scout this. He's not just gonna fucking check in and see if there's a base there. He's gonna go all
There
the way
might
to the
be-
extractor.
He might have floated his base to the other corner.
Yeah, and
You never know.
pulled all of his SCVs over there. You never know.
So I do just want to point out this super early pylon out of Havoc. I'm not sure if this is intended or just kind of a fluke, but you know.
Well,
Yeah,
that
I think it's just
double gas leads me to believe that this is, in fact, the only Protoss all-in that I know. Which is,
no. It's just gonna be some
No,
light
there
one
comes the
base
next
pressure into an expand. Yep.
It's
And
pretty
over
typical.
here, meanwhile, from Tiny Snowman, we have just a basic kind of Reaper expand into looks like actually 2-1-1.
Yeah.
It is pretty typical in PvT to build the Cybercore before expanding. Just the second gas and that third pylon is kind of unusual.
So one thing that Tiny Snowman's going to find here is that if he doesn't take a second soon, he's going to run out pretty fast. Take a second guess.
You don't need a second guess.
Tiny Snowman maybe makes a little bit of a misstep there by just attack moving the Reaper into the pylon. It possibly would have been able to get a little bit of damage without the Mocore popping yet, but.
So Reaper's gonna start shooting at the Nexus, not gonna do anything. Meanwhile, Havok has scouted Tiny Snowman. Tiny Snowman has scouted Havok. It's gonna be another gateway. Ooh, we do have an early. That's an early robo, right?
Yeah, it's really interesting this robo at this timing. I mean, I expect a Twilight Council sometime soon, but it's pretty typical for the Twilight Council to come first to get out a quick blink.
And I think Havok just locked his probe in the middle of all of that. Oh, no.
No, it's fine.
It's fine.
Still no Twilight Council, though, which is a little bit unusual.
We do have 2 more gateways coming down for Havok. Nothing else really going on right now. Everyone's just kind of in a macro low. And as I predicted, Tiny Snowman, it was gas starved for a little bit. And now he can't really do anything.
That's fine.
And so this drop is going to come in actually super late.
Is he? He is making Marines here. Okay. It feels like he should have more at this point.
I mean, he's not macroing all that well, to be honest.
Especially opening 2-1-1. Generally, you.
Like I said, him not taking that second gas until a couple seconds ago really hurt him. Oh, and he's supply blocked. That's pretty substantial, actually. We do have an observer out. It's gonna go see what it can see. Just more, and XTotalhavok's just gonna keep making observers and some stalkers for some early defense.
It's irritating because stalkers totally shut down my 5 racks.
Well, he is fortunately positioning these stalkers in a place that's going to be really, really easy to stop this drop, especially with the disruptor, or the observer rather, presumably rallying here to the main. That Widowmine's not going to.
I think he does see it.
Oh.
I think Tiny Snowman sees the observer.
Well, I think he thinks it's up there, though.
It might be.
Oh, no, now he moved it again. If he hadn't moved it, I think... I think if he hadn't moved it again and just left it there... It is actually... It's a lot easier than you think it is to see those things when they're closed. Like, it feels like it shouldn't be.
Okay, so we have a drop coming in with 12 Marines and 2 Widowmines. We do have, but XTotalhavok's seen it, and he's gonna place some stalkers in position just to defend.
May I just say that this looks fairly all in from Havok right here, or just.
Well, it's really interesting that he chooses to go with Resonating Glaives as his upgrade. With this kind of heavy stalker composition and the Robo, that usually signals blink. But maybe he's looking for some kind of different type of War Prism play.
Okay, so an Immortal's out, so this drop is probably going to get pushed in. That's a healthy number of stalkers.
Ooh, that Widowmine does go off. And is he going to get the medevac? No!
Yeah, this is a lot of gates. Resonating Glaives is almost halfway done. And I think XTotalhavok is just going to go for it once that comes up.
Honestly, there's not a huge amount at home to defend.
Yeah, we have this drop over here with practically just 8 Marines over here, but yeah, there's just not a lot. +1/+1 is going to be finished, though, in a couple seconds. So if Havok can hit before that, that's actually pretty substantial. But he's not working on his own upgrades here. Okay, he's getting double forge at this point, which feels like maybe he might try to go for a third out of this, but I'm not sure. I don't know. Yeah, I think he's gonna go for it.
Yeah.
So
okay, there it is.
Kind of a weird. I don't know Protoss builds, but
it's a little bit late, but not terribly late in PvT.
Yeah, especially considering the Terrans is kind of late as well.
he's
Or is
not
that scan?
morphed it yet and just lifted it off.
Oh, he's scanning the forward third, which Havok is not going to take, and so the Terran's going to be like, oh, he must be going and just keep everything at home, which is good.
Also, I would just like to say that for quite a while there, Tiny Snowman decided that he did not need SCVs, which is something that I myself have done many a time.
We do have a 5-worker lead, though, for Terran here. Actually, 5. That's 7 now. But yeah, that's a pretty substantial worker lead.
It is substantial, putting him up about. Looks like
Yeah,
on
especially
average 200
considering
points of
mules.
income.
Okay.
So we do. Oh, Psionic Storm's on the way. And then +1/+1's also on the way for Total Havok.
I've been going very macro with this then. Pushing.
Yeah, I mean, it looked initially with the resonating glaives, but not a ton of adepts in the army, like this warp prism was intended for harass, but it's kind of just sitting at the natural here, so I'm interested to see what he does with that.
Is that another observer going down there?
So we do have a move out from both armies, and they're gonna meet in the middle. Terran does have +1/+1. Protoss is about to have Psionic Storm. If these two armies meet before this happens, this is literally going to be close. Yeah, Psionic Storm just finished, but this High Templars got popped. Protoss has to retreat. This isn't a favorable position.
No, absolutely not.
2 more High Templars warped in behind this, though, so he's definitely trying to build up the energy for that fight.
Yeah. +1/+1 has popped. +2/+2 though is about to pop for the Terran, so the upgrades aren't really going to matter all that much in the long run. You know, for this next fight.
Terran is succeeding in putting down his 4th behind this, though, so he isn't really in a position where he's under pressure to make anything happen right here.
That's a pretty bold 4th.
I have to say, I agree with that. This is the hop, like barely a hop, skip, and a jump away from the Protoss
my
base.
understanding, the base up here was always
Right, and not only
sort
is it an interesting choice to take the base there, but also an interesting choice that it appears he feels he's under pressure to make an attack here when he should just be economically ahead.
Oh,
And that storm is just absolutely brutal into this.
Ooh, and those storms,
I mean, that'll do the trick.
well,
so much.
That's GG right there.
I think that's game. Havok does have his Warp Prism up, so he can reinforce the front lines. And I think he's just gonna try it. That's a pretty substantial. Terran is actually still ahead in supply. That's kind of huge. What I would try and do here is
loading a considerable amount.
Yeah, this is true. There are a lot of warp-ins for Protoss to be made here.
Okay.
Warp in now.
He was
There we
waiting
go.
for the other that adept deciding that he kind of just wants to walk in there instead of
I
shading.
think it was meant to be a scout. Yeah, this time I would do. This is what I would do if I was in Havok's position. Oh, we do have a drop over here for the.
It's a bit of a doom drop, in fact.
But Havok does have a lot of warp prisms, and the drop's not being microed
Both of
at
the
all.
tanks are completely on siege. That's not going to be super effective.
Well, it looks
Well,
like
he'll break in, but look at the number of pylons available here for overcharges. I think Havok should be all right. Doesn't look like
he goes for the observer. I don't know how I feel. Truthfully, just try and get as many pylons as possible. These adepts are going to clean up though.
Oh,
Ooh.
that's
That feel. But
I don't know that it's going to matter.
that
much,
wasn't
though.
too big of a damage, to be honest, from Terran. Protoss managed to snipe the Terran third, which is pretty good in and of itself. But now this 4th is going to become up, and I'm pretty sure Havok has not scouted that. Yeah, he hasn't scouted this yet, so he has no idea about this.
They're just going to end this game at this point, yeah.
Yeah. These suicidal Templars, though.
That's what happens when you A-move your F2 army.
Who needs micro? Am I right?
Just enough to cast the storms in the first place, it looks like.
Yeah. Press X, click. Success.
Yeah, this is not looking good for Terran. He has bunker. He has
trying to hold. He is broke as a joke.
Yep. And meanwhile, Havok can literally do whatever he wants. Is it Liberator on the other side of the map?
So much hope.
But I doubt it'll matter.
Havok, you don't have vision there. Okay, there he does now.
Blink up, blink up, blink up.
Do they have blink?
Oh, do they have blink? No, they
don't
actually
have
don't have
blink.
blink. I was like, oh.
These SCBs rallied to the.
Yeah, definitely some weird tech choices out of Havok for this match, but it looks like it worked out for him. The storms were basically just the critical element.
Yeah. And the GG from Tiny Snowman, and Havok takes it.
There we go.
Yay. And so that's what, that's 1-1 for us so far. So we're doing pretty good.
Which is basically already a win, correct?
And I'm dying.
Not good for your health.
No, it's actually recommended that you die at least once a week.
At least once a week.
Trust me, I do a hell of a lot more dying on ladder than once a week.
Is it
Oh
the
man, I
truth?
feel you there. I got on and lost like 5 games in a row, and then I was like, okay, fuck this.
Oh, this is my game.
Okay, here we go. Unfortunately, you won, I think, so we're not gonna have an
I
opportunity.
know, you're not gonna get to make fun of me.
Yeah.
Quite unfortunate.
Wait, no, I had no idea.
Yeah, we don't know what happens here.
I win.
No, I'm pretty sure I saw on the spreadsheet that he lost.
I'm pretty sure I won.
I wouldn't trust you on that one, my man.
So, unlike Tech4 has been recommending to us, I did not scout my opponent. He plays on EU, so I couldn't really find his profile, and there's absolutely nothing on his NA profile, so I went into this completely blind. Luckily, I'm a god at TVT.
We'll just leave it at that. In
And
the
I
upper
also
left-hand corner of Habitation Station, playing as the blue Terran for Team All Inspiration, Nano.
And at the other end of Habitation Station, playing as the red Terran, playing Team UR, Wolfie.
Did we not want Havok to introduce himself this time?
I'm not Havok. I'm Nano.
Havok. You are Havok. Don't have a choice.
Okay, so
Right here. And that's what
pretty similar builds right now. Just gonna be basic gas first from both sides. It's pretty standard in TVT if you don't want to die to literally any kind of aggression.
Reaper Hellion.
You die you don't go gas first. You could potentially die from almost any type of aggression. To be honest.
Well, you know what you should do is you should go 2-1-1.
But it doesn't work if they hack like me.
Yeah, exactly. See if there's a map hacker on the other end of the map, and then.
So I'm gonna go into a second gas, and then into a 1-1-1, which is a fairly standard thing. One of those you can
Wolfie
choose.
actually not, which is surprising.
Um,
Actually, looking like he wants to do a Reaper expand.
which is actually safe if you know how to do it. I don't know how to Reaper expand safely in TVT, so I don't. Instead, I just go into a 1-1-1 with a Reaper Cyclone, stuff like that.
Being a Terran expert, the most intelligent comment I can make at this point is that the final timestamp on this game is a real good one.
Oh, leaked. I was like, oh, didn't even notice that. So Wolfie's gonna go Reaper expand straight into a factory, which is again the smart choice if you don't want to die. He's not gonna. He's gonna go into a reactor on the barracks. He's gonna get a second gas, keep making workers, stuff like that. Our Reaper's gonna go out and see what he can see. Meanwhile, his Reaper is gonna go. Yeah, he's checking for proxies. I'm gonna hold off on the watchtower real quick.
I'm quite disgusted that he would think you dishonorable enough to cheese.
I know.
We are the Black Hat clan.
Yeah, the big Black Hat clan, right?
Yeah. And that's a dead SCV. Oh my god, and he gets the cancel. Well, not the cancel, but stops the building. He has to bring another one out for that. That's annoying.
So I should macro this Reaper.
That doesn't happen.
So Cyclone on the way. I have a Widowmine coming. Raven building, but I'm supply blocked because I'm bad at this game.
You need supply anyway.
Meanwhile, I do have a... Meanwhile, Cyclone is gonna die, and the Reaper's probably gonna die as well.
Cyclone living with exactly 4 health. Which is pretty brutal.
Yep, gonna get a little bit damage done, but nothing major. Gonna start my tank production with the tech lab on my factory, going to Marines, stuff like
and
that.
I'm not exactly certain looking at this if he's ahead or behind from that Reaper expand, because you did delay the natural for quite a while, but I guess he's ahead for sure and for certain because yours is finished.
Well, not only that, but it's kind of interesting to look at the worker count because even though Nano has been down 1 base for a little bit, there's been some flaw in the worker production because he's actually up 1 SCV.
Yep. Yeah. I'm going into a 3C sale build. I'm greedy and economic
And
builds.
that CC is, of course, going to the 3rd, right? Or
The gold base, no, you actually cannot, like, that's a really stupid idea. Like, I cannot tell you, tanks are, like, when you're already using area of denial units in a common matchup, it's taking that 3rd is, a nightmare.
That adorable little Raven auto turret drop in the main actually gets some damage done.
Yeah, the Raven drives. I'm gonna start building more barracks, building more tanks. I'm finally gonna get stim. I have double Raven harass coming in. Meanwhile, he has single Raven harass coming in. That Raven is actually gonna do a lot. No, I don't play mech. I try not to play mech anyway. I really don't. Like, I only play mech as a kind of, like, standby thing.
I'm not sure how to interpret that, but it involved the words "I play mech," so I can't really treat it with respect.
It's okay. I don't treat mech players with any respect either. Okay, so there's a Raven. And auto turrets do a lot of damage, so...
This auto turret will eat Marines, but doesn't quite get the same kind of damage done with the kind of 5 or so SCVs that were killed on the other end.
Yeah.
Also, I would like to say that the first auto turret dropped on Wolfie's side of the map almost killed that missile turret. I was watching it quite intently in the hopes that it would, but unfortunately Wolfie repaired it. So no victory there.
So Wolfie's finally gonna slap down some more production after a while. No reason. I'm floating 1,000 minerals because I'm bad at this game.
Also, this 11 kill Raven hurts.
Yes, this 11 kill Raven actually hurts. I think it gets more. And I think it's over here somewhere, but it's actually just in the corner of the map.
Is there something wrong with my display, or is Wolfie just not getting stim?
I think he already has it. Does
I
he?
don't see it in the upgrades tab.
Yeah, no one has anything.
I guess he just doesn't get stim till really late.
He's stim free.
Yeah, my stim is already really late because I go for a 3C build. I'm gonna throw down some scans to check for a third, but I don't see anything.
He is just now building the reactor, or not the reactor, the
tech
Tech
lab.
lab, yeah. I mean, and Nano is going to end up being very far ahead in terms of upgrades with the double engineering bay versus just Wolfie at this point researching infantry weapons on its own.
Yeah, this is actually really bad. So my SimCity sucks, and so these tanks are just kind of stuck there like idiots.
That's fine. Wait, they can't get through by the...
Nope. You'd be surprised.
It seems like they'd be able to get around the oh, I see.
They are.
Yeah, it's because of the starport and the reactor right there.
Oh.
I don't realize this for a while. I think I realize it like in a couple minutes. Like a minute or so.
Rest in
The
peace.
double engineering bay is definitely the culprit there, though.
Yeah. What?
I don't think so. He has it selected now, and if it could, it would.
Yeah, and so now I realize it. And so I'm gonna actually have to come over here and kill the thing.
Tear down that reactor, yeah.
Just one Marine shooting on it. Okay, there we go.
Anyway, Wolfie has his third.
Wolfie has a solid 600 resources up in army supply, but just the earliness of that third CC out of Nano is going to be pretty crippling.
He is actually significantly ahead of me. But
Well, that and just upgrade-wise, you know, you're already running 1-1 with Stim, and
Yeah. he is still not researched him.
His stim is still 20 seconds away from finishing. So
Jeez.
if this
you
isn't
have
attacking into the
1-1
third, it's going to be
combat
pretty
shield,
brutal.
Stim, and yeah, it's. I think Stim is going to finish by the time the attack hits, but that third's not being held, not with that army out of position like that.
Right. Interesting to see too that it looks like just the 2 siege tanks out of Wolfie there.
Wait, he only has 2 siege tanks? No, 3, 4, 5.
Oh,
So I'm gonna get a free siege tank, which is always nice, especially. Ooh, is this 2 free siege tank? No.
No, it's just like they're doing that like 1.5 for the price of 1, and yeah, that third does go
hey,
down.
look!
again.
Turns out Stim is pretty good.
Stim is
Yeah.
a pretty good ability, guys.
Who needs...
So he sieges up, so I'm not gonna take that fight at all.
Yeah, that's a scary fight.
At least not in
Wolfie's tank's actually getting a pretty brutal hit here, but that Widow Mine shot is going to do a lot of damage.
Okay, and he just, with sheer numbers, does manage to brute force that army down, but I think at this point he's kind of got a counterattack because he is really far behind, and that's what he's going to do.
Yep. He has 1-1. I think I already have 1-1. He barely has 1. He just. Hey. He has some SCVs, a couple tanks. Yeah, these Ravens actually stupidly good. Not gonna lie. And so
Wolfie just forced to engage here in this choke with 2 sieged up siege tanks is not going to work out well for him at all.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like these Ravens, if he didn't take that like the worst engage ever, those Ravens would have done a number.
It does feel like at this point in the game, though, Wolfie's exhausted his forces. It's going to be really tricky for him to come back from this kind of economic disadvantage.
Definitely. Especially considering he's already on 5 racks and can't really afford to like
expand.
remake his army and expand all at the same time. Anyway. So I want to make sure he doesn't have a secret sneaky base here. So I'm just kind of scanning around, making sure there's nothing sneaky coming in whatsoever. Siege tanks are good units, dude.
It turns out they are.
I mean, this fight ends up working out well in a position where it really didn't have to.
Yeah.
But this will just end the game at this point.
He tries to pull the boys, but it's a little too late. With Marines coming in, I have a 4th going, already up and running. This is not good for Wolfie. There's a siege tank kind of awkwardly placed on the ramp.
Now sieging it, but I think at this point it really probably doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, I can pull back and just kind of. I don't
right
have
now
to.
you don't really.
Yeah, right now this is just me kind of like making sure I can take the fight.
Absolutely.
Yep, and Wolfie will go ahead here and just tap out.
Yep, GG.
Rest in peace. So that is 2-1 for
All inspiration.
Big Black Hat Clan.
Yep, both Plats picking up their matches after a really disappointing performance by the lackluster gold player from All Inspiration.
It is really, really sad that gold set let us down a lot.
If the Zealot had been hold positioned, it might have been a different story.
I'm not convinced by that, but
maybe.
All right, so up next for our first diamond match, it looks like we're going to be watching. Waiting for the lobby to load. Tool versus Apogee.
I haven't seen Tool play a whole lot, honestly.
He's pretty good.
Yeah. Well, he's diamond, so he's provably better than me. Is that so?
I like the up and down like popping boo. It's like a whack-a-mole, right? Every time he says something, we get. Oh, excellent.
Okay. And Boo's just like, I hate these people. Why did I ever join this team? Meanwhile.
Man, he's talking so much shit right now. He said he hates his stream, he hates his viewers.
I also have all the power, so I can turn off everybody else.
At this point, my fellow casters are just trying to troll you. What I'm actually saying is Kappa123 in the chat.
Alright, so from what I've heard about the talk around CTL is that Apogee is actually a really good player. And I think I've seen him play it every now and then, so I believe it.
He's also got that like demon door portrait that looks like it belongs from like Fable or something. Wow, very enthusiastic there.
Incredibly enthusiastic is our player.
And Tool is just like
in the bottom left-hand corner of Daybreak, playing as the Mustard Terran. It is from Team Unrivaled Apogee.
And in the top right corner, playing for Team All Inspiration, we have the Purple Zerg, Tool. That is not mustard. That is orange, dude. Like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I think
It's the Terran structures. I'm not looking at the map. I'm looking at the brown, grungy metal on the command center. So that's my mistake, I'll admit.
the grungy metal appears to be very orange to me.
Yeah, like, that is not... I don't know what you're talking about. That is
It's
definitely...
because you're eating the wrong kind of mustard, my friends.
I don't know. I'd be kind of concerned if my mustard was orange instead of yellow.
In any case, it will be hatch first before pool for Tool. Ooh, that rhymes nicely.
And it is a gas... Or a racks into gas. Was it racks into gas or gas into racks?
I'm not sure. You know, if I was good at this game, I could look at the geyser and tell you.
We have some Supply Depot micro over here.
It's an APM cushion. You gotta respect that.
Yeah. Yo, I can get my APM up to 300 if you give me the chance. Give me enough supply depots and control groups and camera hotkeys. Oh, it'll skyrocket.
At this point, though, despite his intensive depot micro, Apogee's sitting at a cool 69 APM.
Oh,
Ooh.
well, that's exactly where you want to be. He's not there anymore, but he was.
In any case, it will be hatch gas pool on our Zerg player from All Inspiration.
Also, I'm always always almost a little leery of taking the low ground expansion against Zerg on this map, just because it is such a pain in the ass to wall. I personally like not losing my command center to 4 lings.
You just gotta know how to micro it.
I don't. Which is probably my main problem.
So we're gonna see some overload positioning, nothing fancy. Tool's gonna poke in and see that an expansion is down for Apogee. He has not scouted the main yet, and it looks like to be a 2-1-1.
At the same time, though, we've got some intense Reaper Ling battles here in the natural. Apogee actually chooses to run into the main where he's going to confront a queen. Tries to jump back up, but in there for him, and he might lose that.
Yeah, the Reaper's not going to get anything
Reaper is.
done.
Won't accomplish anything here, but does manage to make it out with his life.
I will
despite
say
the
there was
efforts of the
almost
queen.
a bit of anti-micro from Tool there, I felt, with the Lings trying to position them. And kind of ending up, he kept pulling them away from the Reaper, almost. So, I feel like he could have gotten the Reaper.
Okay, so pneumatized carapace is coming down. Metabolic boost is almost finished, and it looks just like Tool's gonna drone for a while.
And Apogee just starting up on his Stimpack research.
How is that pronounced?
Pneumatized, yeah.
One of my friends pronounced chitinous plating chitinous, and it triggered me so much.
Chitinous?
I mean, that's just straight wrong.
Chitinous plating?
Chitinous. No, stop.
Anyway, we do see the third hatch before any tech structures for Tool here.
Yep.
About on time.
Going with a Baneling Nest, so looking more for that LBM style. No Roach Ravager A move from Tool.
Hey, no, you micro with that. You press the, what is it, C button? That's the default thing?
I have grid hotkeys, so my attack move is on T.
Okay.
Your bile shot is on,
Z.
Yeah. Alright, so you press Z to micro with Roach
Dude,
Ravager.
my micro is so hard. It's just like Storm micro. Click where units are.
Hopefully they're still there when they land.
Exactly.
We do have some actually pretty good overload spread from Tool, so if this drop does come out in the normal way, it should. Tool's gonna see it a mile away.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Plus, Tool already has a good chunk, and he'll be
Killing
able to
that
defend
overlord.
this.
And
Which is a fair assumption, because Apogee's just like, I better cut my losses and clean up some overlords and some creep if I can.
I mean, that's always a good way to go, honestly.
There is a 2 medevac drop coming in on this southeast side of the map, but it looks like Tool is prepared for it with 5 bandits here perfectly in position.
Wow, all those fresh creep.
Yeah, he will pick up some creep tumors that Tool invested some amount of energy in, but the drop will not succeed.
Yeah, that's really all that drop is meant to do. You can't really do any damage with it anymore. Everyone knows how to defend it. It's nice.
I had
It's
a
nice
ladder
if you
game where I
also
got
done-
quite a bit done, but
Oh yeah, like every now and then you get this really like choice drop that like cleans out the entire mineral line of the third and like half health the.
oh no, I killed
third
this
hatch.
guy with the drop. What's that new map where they had the sight blockers in the base?
Oh, I think that's Proxima. No, that's Paladino.
Paladino, yeah. I just went and dropped behind those, and he kind of F2'd, and his army was spread across the map, so it trickled into the main, and I killed all
In
of
any
his
case,
army.
Apogee boosting his medevacs into the main here. They are going to be slightly deterred by this spore, but he will be unloading
And the
Marines.
Army looks like it's way out of position.
So, incredibly so.
But Apogee just kind of not going for the correct kind of, I guess.
Wants to kill the spore.
Yeah.
So Spore down.
Yeah,
I guess that's the thing.
Lings as well.
Without centrifugal hooks there, though, it would have been really brutal if Apogee had moved in on that attack a little bit quicker.
Oh, absolutely.
Combat shields is about to pop. We already have on the third command center down.
Here comes this drop again, though. See if we can get a little bit more done this time. Seems unlikely.
Well,
And the army is back over at the third again, so this could do a lot of damage, actually, considering.
Managed to get an okay position against the extractor there, but the lings do come in pretty quick.
We do have a kind of drop thing coming. It's a small drop coming in towards the third, trying to clean up some creep. I think Apogee is just going to try and group up here, push into
That is
Tool.
one hell of a juicy scan, though.
Yeah.
And a timely pickup.
the Reaper finally goes down.
Bane speed's almost halfway, a little more than halfway done. We have some more queens coming out, and it looks like
And-
Tool's just gonna keep droning, keep taking bases, keep taking names. We do have a Spire almost
Is about to
complete.
finish. Yeah, I was going to point that out. Actually,
Interesting place to take your third. Not gonna lie.
Tool
I don't
has actually
really-
started a second Spire in his natural.
Oh really?
Probably a little bit of a mistake there, but
Might be looking for double upgrades right there.
Oh, there we
He
go.
does have-
he sees his mistake, yeah.
Okay, I was gonna say he did have quite a lot of gas floating, but it looks like he wanted to spend it on mutas. For
It
It
looks
does look
like,
like-
Apogee's gonna go into tanks. I don't know how I feel about tanks and Lingbane Muta.
I think it can still be pretty scary to engage into as a Zerg. It just has a lot less pushing potential than the Bioline styles.
Speaking of scary to engage into, this is one hell of an army coming out from Apogee.
oh, absolutely.
We do have 6 mutas out, but I don't know.
Well, I mean,
Splits are good, and there's not a lot left for Tool here, so I think this is going to be the death march.
Really good timing and smart positioning by Apogee there, though, to pre-split the Marines and also hit at a time where there were only 7 mutas out.
Tool unfortunately throwing a lot of those mutas away.
Yeah,
I think-
Tool's
yeah,
going
we should
to
just
move
keep it
the
there.
drones over to the 4th, but
Well, that's
like
a
I
lot of
said, I think this is
banelings
just the
already.
death march. These Marines are just going to eat these still morphing banelings alive.
If there is one small ray of hope here, it's that all but one of the medevacs are out of energy, but it just won't be enough.
No.
And Tool GG's out.
So
So
that
that'll
brings
set the
us
match
to
score
2-2.
2-2.
And I think Tech 4's game is next, right?
Perhaps.
Okay, so we're already off to a good start. Tech 4 playing hungover that he had to freaking make the gosh dang game 4
Gosh
different
dang.
times. English is a hard language.
Are you my mother?
I might
I don't
be,
think I've
bitch.
ever heard anyone but my mother be that opposed to. Gosh dang.
Yeah, I switch off from goddamn and gosh dang. Like,
Wow.
it
You
just
said a bad word. Language, please.
hey,
There are children
This
watching.
is a
Yeah.
child-friendly stream.
we have pictures of me and DrunkViper flipping off the camera.
This is still a child-friendly stream. The only non-PG-13 I've seen so far this evening was that those Marines stimming into a pack of 6 queens and just...
Okay, so we have a ZVZ on Kirk Precinct. I don't know how I feel about this.
Well, ZVZ on anywhere. I mean.
Right.
So I'm gonna take a nap.
Well, it should be an exciting one. In the bottom left-hand corner of Newkirk Precinct, playing as the Orange Zerg. Apparently not Mustard. Apparently Mustard is an unacceptable color. For all inspiration, Tech 4.
It's an acceptable color, but
And on the right,
describes it.
bottom right-hand corner, playing for Team UR, we have, what's this guy's name again? Shiftix. Why don't I have that up? There we go.
Also, curses of casting. My beer has gone warm. Pretty gross, actually.
So it looks like we're gonna have a pool first from Shiftix, and it looks like we're gonna have a hatch first from Tech 4. So history normally tells us that the hatch first player instantly loses. But,
well, I was about to say something. I was casting the Clan War last night with Siegfried, and one thing I saw out of one of their players was he did the that pool first, that pool gas hatch.
Yeah.
And with it, he would almost turn it into where he'd have just lings kind of poking in and out of the natural and just denying a third and any droning for a while he himself macroed up back at home, and it seemed to work quite well. We'll see if we see a similar style coming out of Shiftix here.
Well, regardless of what the strategic choice is for both players, Tech 4 definitely is going to be under some amount of pressure to defend this earlier expansion.
Yeah, so just so you know, none of us play. No idea what we're doing. The one person who technically does play Zerg still has no idea what he's doing in this matchup. So.
Oh, absolutely. I just 13-12 every time I get a ZVZ.
So speed is on the way, which is good. It's actually a little ahead for Tech 4.
It's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah. We already have a really early Baneling nest from Tech 4. And it looks like Kira is just going to poke in with these lings, not really see anything of any particular value, and he's just going to continue to drone up.
Shiftix, though, after choosing to take the earlier pool in comparison to Tech 4's more economic focus, doesn't actually manage to get any damage done with that. The two lings are easily eliminated, and he just concedes by dropping this spine in his natural. So that's kind of interesting.
Okay, so yeah, according to chat, this is actually a safe pool first. Yeah, I guess it's just weird.
Who pays attention to chat? Who cares what those guys have to say?
So we do have another Baneling nest from both sides.
Another Baneling nest from both sides.
Shiftix is going to go back to dronings. Tech 4 is going to make a bunch of more Zerglings. Tech 4 is slightly behind. And taking a third. Interesting. It's important to note Shiftix does not see this third coming in.
No, he doesn't.
Interesting. He might. This is
the Overlord
He's coming into the natural here,
Ouch.
so looks like he
big
will.
supply block for Shiftix as well.
That's true.
Shiftix tries to pick off that queen, but Tech 4 has his lings already in position.
After the 6 Banes pop, there's not a huge success factor for this attack.
No. Banelings are scary in ZVZ.
Okay, Shiftix trying to take a third of his own. Tech 4 is already pressuring it.
Yeah, actually chooses to take the forward third, which is interesting.
This might be big Bane hits here. I don't know, but oh my goodness,
that was brutal.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, unlikely that Tech 4 will be able to get any real damage on this third now.
Ouch. That Bane hit.
That.
This is why you don't. This is why you don't play StarCraft when you're hungry.
It's exactly why Banelings happen, because they never happen when you're not hungover. Right?
True.
Roachhorn coming down for Shiftix. And here is actually where we see a lot of Zergs die, in my opinion. The transition to Roaches. I know Boo complains about this a lot. That he thinks he's safe, and then he's not safe at all.
He does have some Roaches on the way. Fortunately, it looks like
Tech 4 getting a lair. Gonna
Yeah,
move
but
it.
Tech 4 with this third base actually looks like he's just going towards a bunch of lings.
His legs just kind of derping out.
All rallied on one ling specifically.
Lair is going to finish up for Tech 4, and meanwhile the lair for Shiftix is going to be around halfway done. Let's see what Tech 4 decides to do with this lair.
Hopefully not lose all these lings to banelings is
Yeah.
one thing I would hope.
That's always a good thing.
Tech 4
So he's
decides
going to go
too
into
many
a
banelings.
Spire. Tech 4 going to go into a Spire so he can get some meta play, seeing that his opponent goes into Roaches.
It's always kind of scary trying to judge whether or not you can transition into mutas. I know you were saying the same thing about transitioning into roaches. But
Like, I feel like
Tech 4
one of the
actually
hardest
does not
things in
have
ZVZ is just the transition kind of area.
Tech 4 does not have vision of the Roachborn, so.
well, I mean, he just saw the roaches
Yeah.
walk by.
Oh, did
so
he? Have roaches
he
already
knows.
popped out? Well,
Oh,
right,
yeah,
but at the point that the Spire comes down, I'm not entirely sure.
Meanwhile, Shiftix has actually not scouted the muta, the Spire. So if Tech 4 manages to survive this,
Wow.
ooh, not a good.
Okay. Still
Doesn't
not
look like Tech 4 actually getting
ideal.
any of the cancels on these spines.
Well, who needs money anyway? It's not like it's important for anything.
It's kind of a lot of roaches here.
Tech 4 is down almost 20 supply. I think this is going to be it.
He's
Ooh.
winning. You just have to believe.
10 mutas are going to come out. But I don't know.
Honestly, well, not with the rally coming across the map. I don't think that's going to be enough.
Mutalists do not kill roaches very fast. They do. But lings kill everything really fast. Yeah,
that
I
is
think
quite a
this is
substantial
game
amount
right
of
here.
damage.
Yep, that's a GG for
Yeah, this
Tech
looks
4 here. But Tech 4 is down almost 40 supply, and it looks like, yeah.
Looks like choosing to play on for the moment, though.
He's clinging on, but this next push is just gonna kill him. Unless, Tech 4 does some amazing harass with these. But
Well,
Hydras are
most
already
of
coming
his
out,
numbers
Spores
died
are
in
already
that
down,
push.
so I don't think these meters are gonna get anything done.
Plus, with the spores in every base and the Hydralisk down,
I literally just said that. Why don't you listen?
I can't.
You can't listen to me.
I can't.
So yeah, Tech 4 is gonna try and find some damage, but there's just no damage to be had. Meanwhile, Tech 4 is just gonna try and go for it. He's making one muta and a bunch of drones, but I don't know. It may be too late at this point.
Yeah, I think it's definitely too late at this point with that many Hydras.
That's a good chunk of Hydras and Queens. Anti-air is taken care of. Ugh. Yep, things are not looking good. But we do have 3 more minutes left.
This is why we shouldn't let Tech play hungover.
He just doesn't concede.
He's just gonna sit here and wait until everything dies. He does have enough mutas to definitely, jump on top of spore crawlers if that army is out of position.
And it looks like it is right now. Tech 4 gonna go into the main, see what he can get done.
He's gonna back off right away.
Shift it. One thing that
Shiftix actually getting pretty massively supply blocked here. And
Yep.
he's kind of back in business, but
Yep, things are just kind of. Tech 4 is struggling to recover. Push.
He's trying though.
I think, yeah, Shiftix is going to send a small contingent of a map.
They are gonna get seen by those metas, and honestly,
And the creep.
Should be cleaned up pretty quick.
So, I don't know. Ugh. It's just not a good... Yeah, these drones are going to run... Metas are going to run home. Shiftix is going to continue just kind of doing whatever he wants with drones and hydralisks.
Shift is actually starting to morph a lurker down. Or that's Tech 4, rather. Whoops.
Interesting design choice. I do like it. Tech 4 needs to be defensive here.
Yeah, but here's a huge chunk of Hydras, and Shiftix just saying, I'm going to win the game here, bringing the 6 queens across the map. So.
Yep. We do have 2 Hydralisks, but they're going to take a while to pop, and then Lurkers are going to take even longer. So I don't know. Ooh, Shiftix even bringing the queens over here, saying, this is all in. This is all I got.
He's not all in, though. You are.
You know what I mean.
Ho ho ho, you got us good.
I did. You didn't stand a chance.
Yep, and this one can 2 Hydras with all the micro in the world does not stand against this many things. Meanwhile, the Mutalisks are cleaned up, and this looks to be the end.
Yep. Sad day.
There's
Hungover Tech. Hungover Tech has failed us.
Alright. So we have Apogee right now, and it's 2-2. No, 2-3.
2-3 in favor of Team UR, I believe.
It's like golf, so we're actually winning.
If only that were true. Up next we have Boo versus Seeker, actually. This should be interesting. Boo, do you have anything to tell us before we rip you apart?
Macro GBT. That's all. It was a fun game, I'll say that.
Okay, it's fun.
Boo can confirm, it was a fun game.
This is indeed a game that people buy to play fun. Have fun.
Okay, so let's see here.
We have... You're not allowed to have fun with this game.
So Seeker's pretty good from what I hear. Oh, yeah, everyone, everyone, whenever Seeker's a goddamn god. And I'm just like, okay.
He is. What a god.
Apparently one of the best diamonds in CTO, right?
Right.
So it's going to be a TVZ on Overgrowth. This should be an interesting map. Plenty of room. Pretty balanced map, I think.
Yeah, I feel like, there's always that.
There's plenty of room for drops, but there's also a lot of room to take engagement.
Take good engagements, yeah.
So we'll see how this goes.
In the bottom left-hand corner of Overgrowth, playing for Team Unrivaled in the blue trunks, playing as Terran, Seeker.
And in the top right-hand corner in the red trunks, playing for Team All Inspiration, we have Boo.
Also, look at these boring nerds and their standard blue-red colors.
Okay, it's a nice change of pace. After all mustard. After all the mustard we've been seeing tonight, I think it's probably.
I purposefully choose the color opposite to my opponent. Mm-hmm. They could do whatever. I don't care. I see it in white anyway, and I see them in pink. Looks just to be a standard from both players so far. We have racks into gas, and we have a hatch, probably gas pool from Boo. Nothing surprising.
I don't know why, but for a second there, I was looking up at the top, right, and I saw the base layout there, and I was like, wait, did this guy go CC first? But it was actually Boo's base. So Boo's going
to send out a drone to scout for any proxies. which it's probably a good idea.
I think that's a pretty early scout. I feel like
Well, it's possible that he saw something in preparation that he expected Seeker might try to proxy against Zerg on this map. So
maybe like 3 racks Reaper from there, but usually that's a little early to be scouting for.
Is that CC like correctly placed?
Yes.
yes, it is. It's centered on the circle.
To me, it's like a little bit off.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
Secret.
Anyway, it looks to be about a 2-1-1 coming out from Seeker. Yep, just
Fresh and
Reaper
exciting
into.
build. Haven't seen that one in TVZ before.
No, never.
So it's the new innovative tech, guys.
I'm
Just
kind
build.
of sad that we've had 2 TVZs so far, and neither of them have been the Cars build.
Cars is strong.
Cars is very strong.
So Reaper's gonna come in, and the lane. Boo's like, oh crap. Ooh.
Let's manage to pull those previous 2 links back though.
Yep, these lings are just gonna sit here for defense. Reaper's gonna sit there, see if it can get anything done, but Queens are out, and Reapers aren't all that great against Queens. So Reaper's gonna park itself on the 3rd, see when it takes it.
Or not.
Meanwhile, on the other stance, we have Stim starting up. We already have a factory underway. Second gas is taken, and the natural of Seeker is starting to get up and running.
Gangway, coming through.
But he's gonna
Who actually
suicide
threatens
a.
Overlord, yeah.
Yep, just to see, and he's gonna confirm that it is the 2-1-1. Meanwhile, Boo's gonna take a 3rd of his own. He's just gonna keep on droning. Yeah, he's gonna keep on droning, making queens, making an extractor, usual Zerg things.
Yeah, you know.
So factory's underway, starport's already halfway done, so these are 2 gonna switch off, and you guys know the drill. Nothing complicated. Boo does have vision of the natural of the Terran with this Overlord. It's pretty interesting. Let's see what he sees.
Absolutely nothing so far. And honestly, I think at this
Some
point,
kind of general wall off, but nothing really all that important.
I think honestly with especially when you know your opponent is going 2-1-1, I feel like it's just such a overdone build that you can almost just know exactly what they're doing as they're doing.
I think that's pretty reasonable, yeah. I mean, both players playing super standard, the be to see how Boo anticipates that push or drop.
Boo does hold both watchtowers, so unless Seeker here goes really out of his way, Boo's going to see this drop coming in.
And
but it
here
doesn't.
it comes.
And it actually no. Okay, so he's going to pick off this Overlord, which is a good kind of thing to do.
It's supply blocking, Boo.
But we have +1/+1 coming down for Zerg, and +1/+1 starting up for Terran, as well as combat shields.
Fully unloading that medevac to deal with the Ling at the watchtower.
Meanwhile, Boo is going to take the time Seeker's going to do for take just to clear up the map, just to grip more units. We have a lair on the way, a Bane Nest on the way, 10 drones on the way. And then now he's going into Zerglings, just kind of spreading creep. This Queen's range is crazy, and it's going to see these medevacs.
Hardly a surprise after, I mean, scouting the build, but also Seeker takes so much time to eliminate the vision across the map because he knows it's not going to be super effective anyway, so.
Yep.
Yeah, I think unless you don't pass anything.
We do have another drop coming in. See, so there's 2 drops officially. Is this drop just going to meet up with the first one, or what's going on? Okay, so we have 2 more medevacs filled with stuff, and they're going to go see on the other side of the map what they can do. Boo's gonna run off actually right into the other drop coming in. Or not.
Not quite. It looks like Seeker expects Boo to have taken this fourth at this point.
Spire coming down for Boo. +1/+1 about to pop for Terran. 11 Banelings in production.
I almost expected that Widowmine to go off and do a crap ton of damage to the Marines, but sadly it did not happen.
Well, sadly depends on your perspective.
Well, I mean...
Meanwhile, I'm pretty sure this is a really late third from Seeker here. I feel like it's kind of late, but...
I could have sworn he'd started that earlier.
I don't know, I just feel like it's kind of late, in my opinion.
It is,
Like,
it is late. Like, you start the third
it's
right
definitely late, yeah.
Yeah.
Right as the first drop is out. But...
Seeker keeps seeking to do damage, but Boo's defense is actually really solid. He keeps just kind of being there. This drop on the left, though, might find something?
Well, I think he's kind of just
looking
looking to clear out some creep here, yeah.
Yeah, just clear up creep, move away. This Widowmine might do something.
The multitasking there is going to split Boo's attention there, but good enough to gets enough units over there just in time to stop those medevacks. And
yep, those queens are like, get out of here.
There goes a full one right there.
Ouch.
The hell
Queens, dude.
Here come the first mutas, yeah.
Yep. +2/+2 is almost done, and I'm only +2. Tax has started for Terran. No +1 is on the way. We also have +1 air attacks, so these mutas are going to hurt a lot if they get to manage to find damage. Meanwhile, Seeker's going to go into Widowmine production and just continue to Marines, probably because he's anticipating these Mutalisks.
Yeah.
Who's actually going to take a shot at this third base here, but...
There's too much Terran right there. Not a good, favorable engagement.
And Boo's creep spread into the middle of the map actually somewhat impressive.
So we have a lot of mutas, and there is not a single missile turret to be found, so these are more than likely going to find crud loads of damage.
Well, who needs missile turrets anyway?
People who like to live. We have a drop coming in, but as soon as Seeker sees the things, and that's 3, 5, 6, 7, and these are just 9, 10, 11. Like, oh my goodness, these mutas though. They are probably gonna eat some very big shots here, but they do get out. Don't go back in.
Wow, actually, Boo actually just throws those all away. Great. Oh, but look at the third. Actually, that's...
Yeah, meanwhile, there's a run by on the third to clear it out there.
Unfortunate that those mutas were thrown away, but all in all, definitely a favorable trade for Boo.
Meanwhile, Seeker has the Trump wall. He's like, I built this wall and I paid for it. Zerg, you need to recompense me for this. I'm not really sure about this forward a third here. I feel like it's a little bit harder to defend, and you can bounce the mutas back and forth.
Taking that third in particular.
Against as a mech, I can see mech playing it because they normally have money to burn on missile turrets, but so they can't really like jump back and forth. But yeah, I can see that.
I think it's just that it kind of just continues the path of just having everything almost locked down to the same choke points. Whereas if you take that third, going across the bottom of the map, then you're defending from, several more avenues. So I feel like it's not as good.
We have +3 attacks on the way, +2 armor. We have +2 flyer attacks and a hive on the way. Interesting.
These Widow Mines, wow.
Well,
missed
one of
that
them
engage.
got 19 kills. The other one only got 3. So he's a noob.
Boo looking to run in to the side of that, approaching that third base, but these Widow Mines are just in excellent position.
And now Seeker just kind of has to play the move up, his own kind of Terran creep game. Move up Widow Mine slowly. Just kind of clean up creep as he goes along. Nothing happening here.
Nice splits, though. Friendly fire on the Widow Mines, hurting the Marines quite a bit.
There's a little bit of engagement. What is wrong with my computer? That's a lot of meters. Boo, I do like the creep from Boo on the Terran side of the map. He has denied the gold base pretty effectively, and this Overlord's been pooping on the 4th over here for quite a while.
Seems like pretty early into the game, honestly.
Yeah. And Seeker is just not seeming to take another base. Meanwhile, Boo is taking his 5th.
Well, Seeker's just now starting his 4th, which, I mean, that's a rough spot to be in.
We have Terran infantry armor level 3 on the way, and we already have +3/+3 on the way for Zerg. We have an Ultralisk Cavern already on the way. Is there crap?
Nice micro from Boo, sending out those Overseers to take the Widow Mine shots before the Mutalisks came through.
Ooh, but the Mutalisks are gonna eat some. Oh man, these Mutalisks are gonna. Ooh! Ooh!
To get out.
We have another run by over here. Takes down 11 SCVs. Ouch. Boo's just kind of running away with this game now. He's 20 supply ahead. Seeker gonna keep trying to push up on creep. But I don't know how well this is gonna go. He's pretty far in. Chitinous plating is on its way. And so are his cracklings. And as we know, that's where things get really bad. It's hard to study step with cracklings.
This is several banelings here. We got morph. It was like 30 of them.
Boo just continuing to kind of make his own lead bigger. Seeker has still not taken another base. He is mined out of his main. He's nearly mined out of his natural.
He's just now going to take the base, and he's going to find that he's already got a roommate, and the roommate is not.
And he's starting to mine out on his 3rd. He should have taken this base a long time.
Yeah, the worst kind of roommate is the one that shits on your floor.
Damn, I hate those ones.
We do have a drop gonna come into the I guess this would be the 5th of Boo. And I don't think it's gonna get scouted actually.
Oh,
no, it's gonna be, yeah, we're gonna see a little bit of a scout. But is Boo, yeah, Boo's gonna reelect.
That was Ultralisks under it. It's not gonna get anywhere. And
No.
the Mutas.
Chitinous plating is finished. They have 7 armor now. Ouch, that hurts.
Something somewhat interesting about the progress of this game is how long that tension in the center of the map was held, and how punishing that was for the Terran player. Because, as you mentioned, with the base being taken so late, that wasn't just. I mean, this was a super late 5th from the Zerg player as well. So that tension being held there, a lot of units being built from both ends, and ended up benefiting Boo in a pretty major way.
And I'm pretty sure this is game Terran is not prepared at all for the Ultra tech. He has no Liberators. He has very few Marauders. Hardly any Widow Mines. This is just not looking good for Seeker.
You know what he needs? He needs Ghosts.
I mean, Ghosts are nice, but he doesn't have any money. He is broke.
Certainly feels like this game at this point is just booze for the winning.
Yeah.
Boo is really just kind of playing with his food right here. He's just kind of waiting for a favorable engagement.
Like, any time the Terran has to fly out their main to take another base, that's when you know something's bad.
Liberators are starting to be made, but I don't know how effective they are. Flyer attacks level 2, Adrenal. Oh wait, no. Flyer attacks level 3, Lings are coming in. This is gonna hurt. This engagement's just gonna hurt a lot.
The Widow Mines did put in some work there, and those Ultralisks look like, well, they're immortal, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. As much as Terran as there is, I don't think this is a favorable engagement.
Now the mutants are out here too, so it's
yep.
GG.
And Seeker calls GG. Oh, and so that puts us at 3-3 for the record.
Finally, some Protoss coming in. Jesus.
Also, I wasn't.
They are a rare breed.
For the record, I wasn't playing my food. I just didn't want to throw the game.
No, yeah, that was a
so
super
many games that,
impressive.
like, run into the third base and just get shredded. Like, oh,
Super impressive measure of control from Boo there, and just maintaining that tension in the center.
So now we have our ace match. We have Luneth versus Blazejwa, which I think is one of the most creative names, actually, StarCraft right now.
I'm not sure. My friend's name of Terror Katas OP might be better.
Ooh, interesting. Alright, so this is a 3-game series, correct? Alright, so let's see how it goes. Why does Luneth not have the tech?
He's a rebel.
Luneth?
It's so he can BM people without getting in trouble.
This is
Oh, see. I see. Oh, okay, I get it.
also all he needs is the barcode, and is a barcode
This is true.
default portrait.
And StarCraft 2 has crashed.
Oh, that's not good.
You
Yeah.
cannot click on the screen of Echo LE while the game is loading. So if anyone did that, that's why it crashed.
Okay.
That's what I did.
Yeah.
Wait, really? Why is that a thing?
Fine. I'm loading in fine because I did not click on the game.
So I can't click right now? Like at all?
It'll like show up and your cursor will be like it'll have that loading symbol and whatnot. But
Okay, so I better not click then.
yeah.
All right, so I guess I'm just.
No, we'll remake. We'll remake.
Yeah, we can just remake real quick.
I guess I've learned my lesson. That's a really strange one.
Yeah.
In the meantime, I'm
no
gonna...
longer in the map pool. Fun fact, it will also lose you games on ladder because it counts as a loss if you crash out of your game on the ladder.
Oh, Echo LE isn't in the ladder pool, map
Not
pool
anymore.
anymore.
It takes forever to load too.
Ugh, especially when someone crashes. I bet.
HyperKinetic has left the game. What a nerd.
Alright, so we're gonna remake?
Yeah. I mean, Boo left the game too, so I mean, we could just cast without anything up on the stream.
Hey, that's production's fault. That's not our fault.
Right? We just go on with our job.
There we go. Alright, so we're not gonna click on the map.
Nah, it depends on how cheeky I'm feeling.
If you are feeling cheeky, then we will just do it without you. So I don't remember this map from like the 1.5 campaigns that I played. Like, because I know a lot of them were based on maps within the campaign, levels within the campaign, but
So I think this is just a general Protossy map.
a general Protossy map.
Yeah. Just like it has an overall Protoss feel to it,
Okay.
I guess. I don't really. So like sometimes they don't actually give. Sometimes there's more assets in the game that they don't end up using, but they're like, hey, map makers can probably use this, so they'll just throw it in there.
Yeah. Which is good. I think we have a really strong map making community that just consistently comes up with gems like this on station, Whirlwind.
And what was that map? Now I forget it. It looks like a Marauder taking a piss if you turned it sideways.
Old rain.
And on that charming note, in the bottom right-hand corner of Echo, as the red Protoss playing for Team All Inspiration, it is Luneth.
And
Oh,
in the
good God, Boo.
and in the
Boo,
top
Boo,
left
don't do this to us.
and in
Boo,
the
don't
top
do this to
left-hand
us.
corner, playing
Mining
for
with slow
Team
Marines.
guys trying to do intros. All right, and now here we go. Playing for Team UR in the blue trunks, we have Blazejwa.
Do you know how much self-control it took me not to just say, so how's your day going, Hyper?
Yeah, I apologize to betray you like that, Nano, but the slow SCVs were a little bit too much.
Yeah.
So we have a gas first build from Blazejwa, so it's probably going to be some kind of mine drop.
Yeah,
Or
Blaze
it might be
just
a one
going
base.
with the going
Oh
with the
shit, we have
standard
a proxy
to the
barracks.
opponent's third. Yeah.
No, I did not notice the proxy barracks because I was
the standard 1-1-1 on the other side of the map.
And Luneth isn't even going to check for this. I imagine this is going to.
Well, I mean, it's going to be an instant red flag. When
yeah, he's
pretty
going to
early
see
scout
double
is gonna
gas.
see that-
He's going to see double gas and be like, something's up. Because no one just opens double gas. Like, that's...
Yeah, and the probe instantly sent over to check on that possible proxy.
it's just going to be a standard Marine, actually, into a factory. Oh, it's just going to be a proxy 111. So this is not good. So Luneth has scouted this, and he's already kind of preparing for it. This single Marine is not going to kill both these pylons.
I feel
Or
like
even one of them.
I feel like by the time, no, he is gonna cancel him. Oh, he doesn't cancel that last one.
Yeah, why does he cancel the one that's not under attack? That's a little bit unusual.
Well, I think he should have canceled both of them because that mothership core is not going to. Well, maybe. Well,
The mothership core is actually rallied to the center of the map right now. I imagine that's a mistake, but
Meanwhile, there's going to be a bunker in place. Marine production is going to continue, and this Marine can just literally kite this, sell it forever.
just casually. Oh, there's the photon overcharge, and
So this might be salvageable.
well, the photon overcharge.
Cyclone is coming out.
The mothership core just doesn't have enough energy for this to matter.
Yeah.
I feel like it was wasted.
Meanwhile, the Cyclone is tickling. Actually, that's quite a bit of damage for the mothership core.
Mothership cores are a hell of a lot squishier than they look.
They really are.
And yeah, it's gonna go down.
Yeah, that is no.
No, goodbye, mothership core. I think
That's not how this game ends, but
yeah, I think with this second cyclone coming in, that's gonna be the end of the game. That was rough. Not gonna lie.
yeah, pulling work.
Luneth pulling the boys,
usually
but
doesn't work
ugh,
well at all.
this it's just gonna.
Well, I mean, you know, keep in mind if he can even just hang on to this expansion, he is miles ahead.
Yep.
So.
But I don't think he's gonna. Luneth's gonna. Mothership core died pretty dang fast to 1. It's definitely gonna be obliterated by 2. But if there's a mortal pops, that's game.
But there goes the pylon, and that's good.
Yep. Yeah, Tosa's pylon is an enemy again. Luneth's gonna pull the boys again, but I don't think.
Yeah, that's GG right there.
Yep.
Looks like Luneth agrees.
Well, hopefully the next match goes better.
Yeah, quick game 1 in that one.
Yeah, I feel like Blazejwa maybe misdid his camera hotkeys there. Forgot where his natural was I'm gonna put my buildings in my natural, and then accidentally camera hotkeyed Luneth's third as his natural, and it kind of just got messy from there. Honest mistake. Happens to the best.
Manipulation is whining about the spoilers, but I don't know what we spoiled. Besides that, second match.
Who is whining about spoilers?
Manny. But then again, Manny whines about a lot of things, so.
Yeah, God, Manny.
Gotta take everything Manny whines about with it.
I don't know, it sounds like a hell of a lot more than a grain of salt to me.
Oh yeah. Or like a pound of salt? No, mountain of salt.
The, truckload. Maybe shipment.
I'm gonna say go with the mine. Alright, so in the bottom left-hand corner, wearing the red trunks, we have All-In's Luneth.
And in the top right of Daybreak, wearing the blue trunks, the Terran playing on behalf of Team UR and taking a quick game 1 with some stinky cheese, it is Blazejwa.
I prefer the term accidental building misplacement, but,
So we do actually have a gas first build for Blazejwa this time.
And there is no SCV getting into position to build stuff on the other side of the map, so Luneth is not about to get
cheesed. More than likely it's going to be expand into a mine drop, but considering the size of Daybreak, it might just be a reactor expand.
Possibly.
We do have an SCV probably going out to scout, and meanwhile there's a probe doing the same thing.
I was about to say, I was looking at the path that probe was taking, and I was sure that it was...
Oh, they miss each other.
2 ships passing in the night.
Meanwhile, Protoss is just doing a standard 1-gate expand, nothing fancy.
Yep.
And we're gonna see the cybernetics core in a couple seconds. And there it is. Yep. Nothing fancy.
Our SCVs are
meanwhile, Terran's about to get his expansion. Probe gonna run away after valiantly fighting off the enemy SCV.
Yeah, it was a pretty brutal fight.
Lasers versus a drill. I don't know why anyone thinks that fight is fair.
Blazejwa does choose the Reaper expand though, so
yep.
Gonna poke into the main of Luneth, presumably with that.
Probe checking around for any sneaky proxies. Which is a smart idea. Where's this probe going? Yeah, just gonna see what it can see. Ooh, but it is gonna get caught by this Reaper.
Yeah, Blazejwa does see that with the Reaper.
Meanwhile, the natural of the Protoss is about to finish up here.
That being said,
And
because that
Luneth takes a really early robo, if I'm not mistaken. It's a 2-minute, 45 robo.
Well,
That's
choosing
really
Robo
rare.
as the first tech choice isn't necessarily weird, but I would expect, like we did earlier this series, to see Blink as opposed to And here comes a Twilight
And a
Council.
Twilight Council.
So this is pretty typical kind of Blink Stalker setup.
Okay, interesting. Meanwhile, it looks like Blazejwa is just going to go for a basic kind of 1-1-1 build, and definitely a mine drop. Looks like might be a double mine drop. We'll see what his follow-up is as he gets these units out.
Pylon over skill taking out that Reaper.
Luneth actually choosing to have the first unit he produces out of this Robo be a Warp Prism, and he's setting down a Dark Shrine. So on the one hand, he might get some effective harass here, but on the other, the typical observer out of the Robo first would be a lot more effective against this Widow Mine drop.
And then meanwhile, Blazejwa has actually not scouted that Dark Shrine. He has no idea this is coming in. An Adept is going to come in, see what it can see. Doesn't really get to see much before it's going to be chased off by some Marines.
Pick up an SCV, so that's something.
It's okay. You have a double Marine Widow Mine drop. Meanwhile, the Warp Prism's going to head across the map, see what it can do.
Oh, they definitely saw each other there, I think.
Just barely. Just barely.
But
We'll see what Blazejwa's response is.
I'd be interested to see where he puts these Widow Mines. Kind of coming in at an interesting angle. Maybe just trying to deny Luneth's first attempt. Third? No. Coming
We
out.
have an observer out, so this, if Luneth responds correctly, this shouldn't do too much damage. Meanwhile, the Warp Prism's warping in some DTs, and the Engineering Bay just went up. There is no...
Wow, Luneth manages to get both of them with the Pylon Overcharge. That's a really big deal, actually.
Meanwhile, there's no detection whatsoever for Terran, other than scans.
oh, this is
Got
Siege
some
tank there,
fancy
though,
ass macro.
Yeah. Luneth does manage to save all 3 DTs.
And
Immediately there goes that.
Blazejwa saying, oh crap, those are DTs. Immediately throwing down some missiles. Natural. And he should be throwing them down in the main. Meanwhile, he's going into tank reduction, so we're probably going to see a tank push in a couple
This
minutes.
medevac keeping track of the Warp Prism for Blazejwa.
Meanwhile, the Warp Prism's going to kind of morph
I like
here.
the threat.
just threaten it.
The Stalker warp in there.
So Luneth actually starts charge. He might be looking at a more
Late game army,
heavily
definitely.
Zealot oriented composition. It's interesting to see that he hasn't dropped a Forge yet, though. Oh, no Forge.
DT Blink.
DT Blink, wow, is
DT
actually
Blink.
on
Nano
the
boosting
link.
the DT Blink, yeah.
He wants it.
Interesting.
Is this the
I
nightmare
don't have
build?
protection though.
After getting cheesed game 1, Luneth decides to go with a very conventional strategy, playing it safe with the DT Blink.
Very safe, defensive blinking DTs, of course.
Yeah, Luneth has 2 Warp Prisms. I don't know how I feel about this. Is that a standard thing to get
This
2
is
Warp
the
Prisms?
nightmare
It's not standard, but it definitely looks like an intentional design. He might be trying full angles with how brutal the Blink DTs can be.
This is that build Nightmare used in GSL. It's double Warp Prism, DT Blink, and everything.
Really?
Yes.
I did not know that. Well,
I'm really
DT
glad it's a
Blink
thing now.
absolutely.
has just popped, and we're gonna see.
And these DTs can blink now.
And there they do their blinking thing. Only one siege tank sieged on the high ground here. 2 of them are kind of just scooting about trying to get shots, but that's not going to be terribly effective. One of the Warp Prisms falls to that sentry.
Ooh, meanwhile, these DT going to town in the natural. Entire mineral line cleaned out.
Oh,
Yeah, Blazejwa does succeed in clearing out the DTs on the high ground, but that's not going to be enough.
all the this CC being in the air has the only scan energy that's left, and this is honestly, just keeping Blazejwa contained to one base at this point. There's nothing you can really
That is a
do.
lot of damage, yeah.
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 +1/+1 was denied. And I think these, Ooh, are these gonna... No, they're not.
And there's the
DT's
blink
blink on out of there. Meanwhile, a third, putting him
Yeah.
pretty dang far ahead.
Luneth just
Um,
going, yeah, I'm pretty far ahead right now. Murdered practically fucking everything there.
He's grabbing a forge, actually
I
double
mean, he
forge.
has, what, triple the income now, so there's really no concern in winning immediately, but...
He's almost 30 supply ahead. I say Luneth has this game in the bag.
Yep.
Very sweet build, though, especially considering that he was in danger of elimination.
So looks like Luneth is gonna get set up for another round of blink DT charge lot pressure, if that's what
Also,
you want to call it.
No eBay down yet.
No, there's one in the main.
I meant no turret down yet, and
Ooh, and these
Wow,
blink
yeah,
DTs
no
are gonna
detection. That's
immediately
the
snipe
part of the
off
army.
those tanks.
yeah,
That's disgusting.
Meanwhile, these
I
DTs
really-
have cornered these SE. Ooh, are they gonna get this? Ooh, yeah, Luneth is gonna get this CC.
Wow.
Ooh.
No
I think
link. Well,
that's.
there's
I
the
think
link,
at this point, Blazejwa is just gonna call this one game.
Definitely looks like it, yeah. I'd be interested to hear from Luneth about this build, about the decision to not build any Archons. Whether it's just for sweetness or if the DTs are actually just better.
well, I feel like if you're going all the way and getting DT blink, where's the
You
point
might
of
as well
the
use it.
Archons? You have blinking DTs at that point.
The Archons do lose blink, but against, if you're trying to break into a base with detection against a bio ball, it might be a little bit good to have at least some Archons. Right?
I think if maybe there was a Liberator, a high Liberator count
I see.
that was built
see.
in response, then obviously then Archons would be a necessity, just because you blink DTs and not.
Well, but that early in the game, even then, Liberator count that high, you could get maybe like 1, 2, but nothing major.
And if, Luneth isn't necessarily trying to crack the base straight away, so the Liberator isn't necessarily in a position where there is detection.
True.
Yep.
True enough.
So now we have the game 3 on Habitation Station, and the series is tied 1-1. It's going to be interesting. So here we go, Habitation Station. I'm pretty sure this is a Terran favorite map.
I don't know.
I definitely think it's Terran favorite.
Yeah. Drop distance is nice.
Oh,
Drop distance is nice. You can kind of dance between the third and the fourth with drops. So
there is
nasty.
a lot of dead air behind and between the main and natural on the far right and left hand sides of the map. So
Well, and not to mention this huge gap of land between the second and the gold, if that's the base you choose to take.
oh yeah. Well, I mean, I think the general consensus is that if you take the gold, you die, and you deserve it.
Yeah.
Anyway, in the top right corner of Habitation Station, playing for All In and wearing the red trunks, we have Luneth.
And in the upper left-hand corner of Habitation Station, in the blue, playing Terran for Team UR, Blazejwa.
Looks like Blazejwa is not going to go for that gas first. He's just going to do a standard racks into gas. So
I
it's
guess I felt
probably...
like the proxy was definitely a one-trick pony type of thing.
Yeah.
If that, doesn't appear to be getting gas.
Okay. Yeah, there's the gas.
Refinery comes down right now, yeah.
Okay. Honestly, that's even a little late for Rax gas. That doesn't give you enough racks to throw out the Reaper, enough gas to throw out the Reaper.
Meanwhile, we see the worker scout from both sides. Both sides just grabbing view of the watchtower, see if anything's cheeky going on. Luneth gonna come up into the Terran main and see that there's not really a lot. Meanwhile, on the other side, Blazejwa's gonna see the expansion, he's gonna see the gateway, gonna see the cyber, gonna see the gas.
Luneth also making sure that his minerals are always maxed out at the cost of a little bit of gas, so this is definitely going to be another Twilight Council opening.
Okay, that sounds...
I mean, you just can't supply a Stargate with that kind of low opening gas.
Okay, well, I know, yeah. Expansion coming down for Blazejwa here. Pretty standard stuff. And into factory. He does get a marine.
Yeah,
pretty
it was not a
gas
Reaper
first.
expand. Just
Yeah, you can't go.
Gas was later.
Just basic standard stuff. Nothing really going on right now.
Luneth is choosing to open up with an Adept rather than a Stalker, which is, you know, arguably a little bit better at fending off the Reaper. He still doesn't know that, although the Reaper definitely would have arrived at this point, but when he starts building that Adept. So interesting to see if he tries to poke in with that. Looks like he's going to try
Mothership Core is going to head straight across the way here.
Pylon rush, almost.
No, the Mothership Core is relatively safe scouting.
Okay.
Especially on this map with a lot of dead space in the air.
Well, I guess recall is only 50 energy, so.
Yeah, and the distance between mains on this map is relatively short, so you can get in there before the 3 to 4 Marines.
Mama Core might even get a few kills of herself.
Boom.
Just one.
1 SCV, 50 energy, super worth.
2
SCVs.
Ooh.
And here
3
comes the Widow Mine, that might. And Luneth
Mama Core's gonna head on back home.
Very effective little trip she took there.
Meanwhile, the Adept clearing out the natural.
Yeah, so it looks like this exact same opening from Luneth again. There's the Dark Shrine, so looks like he really likes this in PvT.
And important to note that Blazejwa is gonna see this.
True, yeah.
So let's see if he does anything different for it.
Yeah, I mean, there goes the engineering base straight away, so he is definitely hunkering down for that Warp Prism drop.
Now this is when you cancel the Dark Shrine and go into something else, right?
Well, I think that Luneth proved it's a pretty resilient build last game. Even with the detection, the blink makes DTs powerful enough to be effective in a fight.
Yeah, I know.
Scanning the main, just making sure he's looking.
Warp Prism coming in, it might hit the Widow Mine, maybe?
Oh, just out of range.
That is some really close. Like, it is
50 units out, yeah.
How do you know there's 50 units?
Not 50 units. That's like 3 units.
Clearly 50 units out.
I don't even know what a unit.
I was thinking in kind of the way that distance. I haven't played League of Legends in probably half a year, but still the way I describe distance in games.
Luneth's gonna warp in a couple of DTs.
Gas starved here.
And Kapowie.
Ooh!
Doesn't quite kill Warp Prisms even after the shield nerf, but
still an owl.
But Luneth at least knows that this avenue is not gonna work out for him. There's 2 Widow Mines and a turret. And now a Viking.
Said, this early DT just threatening has completely stopped a Widow Mine from happening. Widow Mine.
Yep. That's one good thing that happens, is that Blazejwa is preparing for the kind of all-in but meanwhile, Luneth has taken a third of his own. He's going into more advanced tech, depths, and he's actually getting resonating glaives. He's getting a robo bay. He already has his robo facility. he threatened with the Nightmare build, but it looks like he's just going into a more macro game and making Blazejwa pretty dang scared.
Yeah, I like this a lot out of Luneth, actually, because he plays the exact same opening that he played last game into a charge lot Dark Templar pressure, and is now kind of changing it to something different. Takes that earlier third, building more adepts, looking for maybe a later push.
And
Stim is starting research right now. It's a pretty important, this is actually a pretty late stim. I see it.
Oh, yeah, that's really late.
Very late, yeah.
+1 infantry weapons is about halfway done. Why don't I have production up on my screen? It looks like both sides are just gonna go, just kind of play standard right now. Luneth going into Colossus.
Yeah, Colossus.
Hasn't
Hasn't started research on that upgrade yet, though.
Let's see the Colossus range.
And interesting that he hasn't chosen to build any forges yet, because usually the upgrades are pretty important in adept compositions.
Meanwhile, it looks like Blazejwa is just we have a very, very
Very terrified
Optimistic.
Terran right now.
yeah.
That's what it
Optimistic
feels
drop into Luneth's main, though, is just going to drop a Marine and get out of there.
Kinda, yeah.
Oh, it does.
War
seem
Prism
the War
is there.
and the
Yeah.
War Prism is dead. Just most.
Meanwhile, Viking coming out to scare off this War Prism.
I think it's gonna kill it.
Yeah, he's going to walk right up to it to try to nab that one, and he
It's definitely gonna die. Goodbye, War Prism.
Good micro from Blazejwa there to pick that up, not just clicking on it and assuming it was dead. So that's probably what I would have done.
Income, though, is just absurd. He's ahead about 20 workers. He's up maybe 10,000 minerals a minute, and even taking a fourth behind this. So
Oh yeah.
I mean, honestly, Blazejwa didn't even go for an all-in on 2 bases. He didn't rack up that barracks count while he was.
there is a pretty
fighting.
terrifying attack coming in, though.
It is, but we have Colossus.
A
And
lot
our
of
lines aren't that great against Colossus.
This is true.
+1/+1 should be cut. Yeah, there it goes.
Luneth hasn't even started his Colossus range upgrade, though, which is somewhat important in these bio fights.
Yep.
Wow, that's pretty awful to spend 2 scans on the DT and not pick it up.
Oh man, if I were Luneth, I'd wait for those scans to go out and then send that DT right back in.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But it looks like he's just willing to take this fight here, which is a little bit interesting. He's gonna pick up some shield damage on his adepts, and
We do have High Templars on the way.
He did get double forge, and he has 1/1 on the way. Not getting chrono boosted.
well, the Templar archives look like they're for Archons. He hasn't started research on Storm, so.
Why would he need Templar Archives for Archons? He already has a DT shrine.
If they're cheaper.
Yeah, they're.
Oh,
cheap.
really?
Yeah.
Not by a lot. If you're starved on gas, it's better to use the DT shrine because they're 125, 125. But High Templars are 50, 150, so they're slightly cheaper.
Okay. We still do not see Colossus range.
Yeah, this has to just be a mistake here for getting that upgrade, but
Yeah, it does look like Luneth's gonna go into Archons. Meanwhile, Terran has finally taken his third, but the threat of all-in has made this Terran have to be very, very defensive.
it does look like Luneth is a little bit reluctant to engage this fight, just sitting on 0-0, right? His 1-1 is about to finish, but in comparison, what do the upgrades for Terran look like?
1/1.
Yep.
Also 1-1 combat shield.
Yeah,
so it's not a huge imbalance, but
And 2/2 is not even starting yet. About to. That armory is about to pop, and when that does, I'm sure.
We already see a fusion core for Liberator range down, but Luneth is pretty far ahead.
yeah, it looks like it might be slightly too late. I mean, this is a really terrifying army coming from Luneth here.
This pylon is going to be the first casualty of this war. Pretty tragic.
Luneth, though, very cleverly evading the liberation zones. He might be able to pick a really good fight. Yeah, these liberation zones are in completely the wrong place.
Let me go ahead and cancel that.
Yep. Luneth just at this point is just looking to take the best fight he possibly can. He actually doesn't have a lot of things that can shoot up. He has the Archons, but
There's some Stalkers mixed in there. Not very many, but
I don't know how I feel about non-blink Stalkers against Liberators. It's kind of a rough thing.
Oh
He's
my
gonna
goodness.
Oh jeez.
absolutely brutal hits from there. But the Archons are just going to hit on the Liberators, and it might be that too much even without that range upgrade. Thermal Lance is just completely demolishing those Marines and Marauders.
Yeah, there was just two.
The boys are being pulled, but
the boys, but it's way too
Voids
late.
are pulled into splash damage, and that's it.
yeah,
do it.
that's not good.
Wow, Luneth takes game 3 in commanding fashion.
We have the War of the Worlds Walkers. They are pretty good units right there. Colossus, ooh.
And that'll do the trick down to the very last
Yep.
game.
And Blazejwa does a GG.
I could have sworn I heard Boo cackle there when the Widow Mines just annihilated all of
Yeah,
them.
Cruel in chat asking where the Adepts go. They went to Adept Heaven.
That was the most efficient murdering of adepts I've seen in a long time.
That was incredible, yeah.
And it didn't even matter.
Oh man, that was yeah.
Alright, well, I'll let you guys wrap it up. I gotta get out of here because someone's challenging me for my CTL spot, so.
Ooh.
Good luck.
Anyway, All Inspiration takes it 4-3 with Luneth closing it up with a 2-1 comeback. And I guess that's it.
Yep.
Alright, well,
Yeah. Huh? I
thanks for
guess.
watching, everyone.
Yep. Hope to see you again next week.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna cast most weeks. I don't know. We'll find out. Today I was sick. I didn't feel like actually casting, but I was here to watch, enjoy it with you guys.
And observe for our low league asses.
Hey, it's okay. It's all good. I always want more people to cast. If anybody in All In or anyone else really wants to cast, just let me know. But,
Okay.
You know, we need more casters. I can't cast everything for you guys. It's gonna kill me.
Yes, you can, Boo. I believe in you.
No, my brain will explode. Yeah. So I'm gonna.
Well, I
see
won't
who
cast
host.
alone, but as long as I have someone else to cast with, I am happy.
That sounds fair.
If I am free, I will cast with someone else.
Alright. I'm gonna log off because I have not eaten, and I'm gonna go grab food. See you guys
I'll take it
later.
off too.
Alright, I'm gonna see who's online. Who am I hosting? Oh, Zoe's streaming. We're going to Zoe.
Zoe's streaming?
Okay.
Ooh.
Alright,
See you guys later. Peace.
later.
I'm gonna probably host this, upload this later tonight with timestamps too. It's a new thing I'm doing. You know, trying a little bit.